Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Hit the bell icon button so that you don't miss out any tutorial.
In this video, in this section, we are going to talk about how to create a landing page with Bootstrap. So if you don't know what a landing page is, basically it's a website that has everything that you want from a web page. In most cases, you have some sort of form at the bottom of the landing page, but in our case, we have just sign up today, a link, and basically that's how the landing page looks, and I have already created the landing page. We are not going to do much live coding in this section, but in section 7 we are going to look at how to create a portfolio, a landing page. So we're going to take this project and build on top of it. One thing I want to point out that I am using font awesome icons in this section over here, and we are going to talk about how to install those into Bootstrap, because Bootstrap doesn't come with any sort of icons, so you have to add those in whatever you want, and I'm going to show you how to do that with font awesome icons. Also, we're going to talk about this layout, text image iteration, pretty popular layout all over the web. And so yeah, and then we have this images and the sign up section. So this is the landing page, and in this section we are going to talk about the base concepts of how to build a landing page with Bootstrap 4. So in this video, we are going to talk about the code behind the landing page project. And first off, I want to talk about font awesome icons. Basically, you can go to fontawesome.com and download the archive. In that archive, you are going to have a web fonts folder. So just go ahead and add those web fonts inside of your root project folder. Also in my source folder, I have created inside of source SCSS, I have a vendor folder, and I have added font awesome folder, which has fontawesome.css. So it has all of those CSS styles that you might want for your font awesome icons. And inside of index, I've added font awesome to be imported in the index, and in main.scss I am importing the vendor index. So this font awesome is added inside of index as well with the Bootstrap, and then I am importing all of that inside of the main SCSS, and that is being compiled into my main CSS. So that's how you add font awesome icons to your project. And now let's go ahead and talk about the markup. First off, I want to go back to the website and point out that my navigation sits on top of this banner image. It's not overlaid like in the previous project, but sits on top, and because of that, I have chose to create a nav outside of the header. So just a separate div that sits on top of the header. And inside of the header, I have a div header overlay, which just overlays the image. Before, I have done it with a pseudo element, with after pseudo element, but you can do it either way. This way is actually easier and less complicated. But if you want to use pseudo elements, you can definitely do that. Then I just have some styles, some form row, and some text. And if we go look inside of the parcels folder, if we look at the header, here's my header with the image from, I believe the image was from Unsplash. And I have some image settings, and the overlay, I just do position absolute and give it height and width of 100, and that will cover the whole header. So that's pretty easy. I think a bit less code than doing with pseudo element, but you can do it either way. And if we get back to the index.html. Next goes the main section, and I'm just setting this background color right over here. And then we are doing the icons. So I have an icon wrapper, and within that icon wrapper I have an icon, a full icon wrapper h2, and the icon wrapper paragraph. So if we go to icon.css, this is all of the styles that I'm actually using, not a lot. And also I have hover effect with transition 1 second, and I'm making this as the icon size a bit bigger. So if we go back to index.html, and now let's look at this container fluid section, which has text image iteration. So if we go back to text editor, not text editor but the browser, we can see that we have a text column, and then an image column, then image column, then text column, and text column, image column. So they sort of iterate, and I have 3 rows over here. So first row, second row, and then the third row. And if we inspect and go to the mobile view, we can see that our text image iteration is perfect. We don't have no double text or double images, and I will explain that in a bit. So if we look over here, we have container fluid with a row, and then 2 columns, a column MD6 and then another column MD6, and the first column is with the text and the second column was with the image. Next we have another row with column MD6, and then we have an image inside of the column, and our second column MD6 has order first and order MD last, and then we have this text for that column. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable both of these utility classes. And the way I like to disable my utility classes is just adding this disable text to the classes. And same thing for this class. And now if we save the page and go to the browser, we can see that nothing really changed. We still have this image text iteration, but if we inspect it and go into mobile view, we can see that we have image stuck in on top of the image, because they are sort of like in a row, and they just stuck whatever the option they get in a row. So that was the use of that utility class to switch these two around for the mobile view when they break and go into block mode. So having this utilities allows me to create the same text image iteration on mobile views, and this layout is tremendously popular on the web. You actually can find a lot of websites that have image text iteration. So keep in mind this 2 classes to use whenever your image text on mobile does not iterate properly. And then the next section, actually let's look at the styles markup for this image text iteration, and I have it in text block, and it's pretty simple. I actually don't have no styles for an H2 and paragraph, but if I need any styles, I have them already prepared. And then I have text image text block image for the styles for the image itself. And next is our like team or people behind this site, this section over here. This section over here, and it's pretty easy, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I have 3 images from Unsplash and some meta information like the name and the role in the company or whatever. And basically that's it, except for if I go to faces, I believe I have some background shadow, and not background but just a regular shadow and I think, and there it goes, face, image, and the shadow. This shadow is just a utility class for from Bootstrap, so nothing too fancy, and you can see a little shadow over there. And the last section that I want to cover in this video is the sign up section. It's pretty similar to the header, except for it's a bit smaller. So I have a sign up and then sign up overlay, and then I have some text in the form. And if we look at sign up, nothing too fancy, just image, background, and overlay, and some styles for the text. So this is like the essence of creating a landing page with Bootstrap 4. I hope you learned something great and exciting about this project, and in our next project, in our next section, we are going to create a admin page for a website. So there's going to be a lot of live coding that we are going to share, and hopefully you are looking forward to that as well as I am.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, do give us a thumbs up and share it. Also check out amazing discounts and offers on our premium courses in the description below.